people, so it's good. Glad
Coffees and conversations.
Yeah, there you go.
This is going to be the name of this segment. So where can people find you on social media? How can they place orders? What's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
So we're on Instagram at Two Cats Roasting Co. We have a Facebook page. We do have like a newsletter-y thing that's kind of maybe a little defunct right now, but you can always reach out to us on Instagram, just DM us, or Facebook. And
then the profile of both of those is the link for a Google form to order.
Cool.
So,
even better.
And we will deliver anywhere in DFW, especially in Arlington. It's super easy for us to drop some off before or after work. And Instagram's great because you can see pictures of the cats. So.
Yeah, that's true. Awesome. I was just on the Instagram. It's full of the cats.
Yeah.
Two cats.
Two cats.
Yep, exactly.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. We are so glad we finally got to do this.
Yes.
And next time you'll have to come back and talk to the boys about wrestling, and which is your other shared interest.
Yes,
yep, absolutely.
And we will see you guys at the farmers market and around.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Welcome to the Arlington Sports Update by Arlington Citizen Media. The UTA men's basketball team lost their first nationally televised home game in a heartbreaker in triple overtime, 85-87 against rivals Texas State. David Azor led the team with 20 points and 16 rebounds. The Mavs moved to 13-17 for the season, and their next game is at Troy on Tuesday, March 3rd. The Lady Mavs basketball team destroyed Georgia Southern 101-73 on Saturday, February 29th at College Park Center. That takes them to 18-10 on the season and third in the Sun Belt Conference. Sun Belt tournament play begins March 10th. The Dallas Renegades lost to Houston Roughnecks 20-27 on Sunday, March 7th, and fall to 2-2 for the season. The Renegades made 5 turnovers on offense, and the defense, while holding on to some key plays, was unable to stop the Roughnecks in the end. Head coach Bob Stoops talked about some of the offensive struggles.
To secure the ball, to catch the football. There's just way too many drops or, bobbles that lead to interceptions. Execution in our screen game, execution in our run game on offense.
While linebacker Greer Martini had this to say about the defense.
Unfortunately, we've had some bad situations and we've kind of bowed up, and that just shows that we're a gritty defense, and I think that's something we take pride on. And going forward, I think that's really going to pay dividends for us.
The Renegades will take on the New York Guardians at home next Saturday at 4 p.m. at Globe Life Park. And since spring is here, the UTA men's baseball team has started play as well. This weekend, they took the series 2-1 over the Utah Utes at Clay Gould Field.
I am here with Rhett Khisler, the founder of Revolver Brewing, and Grant Wood, the brewmaster. How are y'all today?
Doing well.
Doing great.
Well.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
So for those that don't know Revolver Brewing, how would you describe Revolver?
Oh, gosh. We are a world-class brewery in the Texas countryside.
There we go. I know you guys are out of Granbury, but then you're opening your second location here at Texas Live in Arlington. What brought you to Arlington, and why Arlington?
Wow. So little over 3 years ago, after Rhett and his father Ronnie and I had started the brewery back in 2012, we had an agreement with Miller Coors, actually, who were a big part of the branding and the beer part of the development of Texas Live with ECI and Cordish and the rest of the companies that were here. And so when we joined up with that, with the company, the greater part of the managers of the company and the salespeople saw a real opportunity for our brand here and thought that it would fit right in. I mean, we have the Rangers, we have the Cowboys, we have we're kind of now truly in the center of the Metroplex. And though our origins are out there in the countryside in Granbury, this was just a great opportunity to get us and our beer and Blood and Honey in front of a lot more people.
Right.
And it's taken a little while to kind of see the vision finally come into reality, but in the next couple of days, it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah. We are right before you guys are opening the new brew. So it's a brew room, not just a tap house, right?
Well, yeah. So there's the front of the house, which is the Building 5 tap room.
Right.
And then right behind that is the Building 5 brewery.
Okay.
And so there's an actual 10-barrel, fully functional brew house, cellars, and we'll be making beer in there to serve in the tap room at the front of the house. So as well as maybe get it out into the greater DFW area to have kind of bring Building 5 out a little bit. But really, primary focus of it is to bring beers into this space right here. Mm-hmm. So people that are coming into Arlington and coming into Texas Live, whether it's just to come to Texas Live, go to a concert, come have dinner, or whether it's on their way into one of the ball fields or for one of the events around here.
Right.
It's their opportunity to see us and our opportunity really to bring some cool, innovative beers that we haven't had an opportunity to put out before.
Right.
We're out in Granbury, Texas. So for those that don't know, we're probably 35 miles southwest of Fort Worth.
Right.
And great place to go on a Saturday. We're open every Saturday from noon to 3. We have a band with family-friendly catering, beer tasting, beer tour. So great, but not everybody can make it out there. And so when we had the opportunity to come here in Arlington to Texas Live, we jumped down it and viewed it as an extension of our brewery, so hence the name Building 5. We've got 4 sequential buildings that are joined together out there.
Right.
The brewery's grown, so we've added over time, and so this is the 5th building, and so it is a direct extension of our brewery. I mean, our brewers have moved from Granbury to coming up, instead of reporting in there every morning, they come up here now, and so it's a direct connection to the brewery and managed that way.
Right. Now, I've been to the actual brewery a couple times. What can people that have been out there, are there any similarities and differences? Obviously, Texas Live being around it, and obviously, like you said, sandwiched in between all of these ballparks. What other differences can people see coming into this?
I'll talk about the outside, and then Grant can talk about the inside, because he's much more familiar with the equipment than I am. But from an outside perspective, obviously very different. We're out in the country. We've got horses and longhorns next door.
Right.
Windmills, functional windmills in the yard. So
it's true. There is a farm that butts up to it that you can actually kind of just, if they come up to the fence, you can actually play with, or not play with, but touch and the animals and so forth.
You can fully engage there with petting a horse if you choose with the livestock. So definitely the settings. Definitely, we're in the country out there, so different setting here. As far as the building goes, they've used nicer materials here than we used. Their budget was a little different.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, you're just starting a place up.
We had a different budget here, so anyway. So, Greg, go ahead and talk about the inside.
I think we brought some elements. I think that if you've been to Granbury and you've seen the brewery out there and kind of driven through the gate, I think you're going to get is when you come here, you'll get that impression, particularly from the textures, the colors, the stone, the kind of rustic industrial look out there. We embrace the rust a little bit sometimes. We've embraced a little bit of it here. But it's a little more comfortable here, I would say. You've got a little bit more comfy chairs.
Right.
You've got some same type of picnic tables, though, which is interesting. Yeah. And some of the benches and kind of hand-built wooden benches and things like that you would see in Granbury. And then on the brewery side, on the beer side, frankly, I'll say on the brewery side because you've got brewery than beer. The brewery is a little nicer, frankly. It's smaller,
obviously.
But it's a 3-vessel brew house that will give myself and the brewers a little bit more control over how we can make the beers. Frankly, we can make thicker, higher gravity beers a little bit easier. We can do controlled brewing in the mash tun and control the temperatures to get either higher body or higher alcohol, depending upon how we do the conversions. And then we have a real nice set of cellars. We've got full stainless steel tanks. It's very nice. Full controls over the brewing process on just a much smaller scale.
Right.
We don't have a packaging line. It'll be draft only here, and we'll have over 12 different, many times up to 15 different beers on, trying to keep them all different.
Okay.
And it's going to take us a while to brew into that. We brewed a little bit ahead on our tiny pilot system in Granbury to have a pretty broad variety of beers when we open tomorrow.
Right.
But we'll continue that process, trying not to brew the same thing twice unless somebody really, really likes it.
Right.
And have an opportunity to kind of play, frankly, and to exercise our creative wings a little bit. And it gives not just myself, because I've been around in the brewing business for 35 years. I've made a variety of different beers.
Wow.
But some of my guys who are newer, I've got actually some of my more tenured brewers that are coming out of Granbury and coming up here. One of them has 5 years, and the other has 6 years, and we're only a 7-year-old brewery.
Right.
So been with us a long time, kind of have the DNA and the way we do things in their basic operating system. And so I think it's going to be a great translation of their skills and an opportunity for them to be creative and not just myself.
Right.
Because I mean, if we're going to make a couple of beers every week, right? We could end up making close to, God willing, we're going to make, we could end up making 90 to 100 beers in a year.
Yep.
And so that's a lot of creativity for one dude. So I'm really looking forward to having some input from my other brewers and frankly, maybe some people that are within the company who had an idea and said, "Hey, have we made one of these? No. Or have we made an ingredient? Made a beer with this other ingredient? No. Well, we'll brew it up on our little pilot system, see if the flavor profile is close, and it's like, man, everybody good with that? Yeah, let's take it to building 5. Let's make 10 barrels of it and put it on the wall and get people to taste it."
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And this puts us in front of a lot of people, so our patrons are going to, I'm sure, give us feedback, and we'll be able to see very naturally what people like and what they don't. And so, we're open 3 hours a week out in Granbury. This will be open
7 days a week.
7 days a week, so gives us a lot of people, to sample beers on.
That's that instant feedback that you normally, again, you wouldn't get because you're only open 3 hours a week.
Exactly.
So, yes.
Yeah, and again, a much broader opportunity, so we can make even 2 versions of a beer and put it on the wall, and set up taste testing and stuff like that. Which one of these do you like better? We might have tweaked the recipe in a couple of different ways.
Right.
So, cool opportunities to really stretch our wings and try some styles we haven't done, and really looking forward to it.
Right. So that kind of leads me into my next question. So you had mentioned, so obviously you have 2 locations now. You can't be at all places at all times.
No.
How?
But wherever my beer is, I am with you.
Ah, well, you're omnipotent in that way. Yes. Now, so you're obviously not going to be the brewmaster for both of them, but you're going to kind of allow them to kind of spread their wings to try to test some things out, or are you going to do it in Granbury and then bring it up here? Or?
Yeah, so we have a tiny brewing system in Granbury.
Okay.
And so we're going to be turning that one around a lot.
Right.
And really going to lead it in Granbury and sort of try it.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a different system down there. So, like I said, if it's like a new ingredient or something like that, let's make it in let's make it in Granbury, prove it.
Right.
It's like we're not going to shoot the moon here per se. It's like I'm going to mitigate that risk a little bit of just kind of coming blind into this larger brew house.
Right.
But we'll give it a shot. And if it's in the ballpark, okay, there might be a little bit of a tweak. We'll bring it up here and run with it.
Right.
So, it's a lot still happening in Granbury, and like you said, I can't be in both places, but I will be up here regularly, particularly as we're getting started up here. And I mean regularly as in twice, could be twice a week, could be 3 times a week.
Right.
Because I'm I'm in charge of innovation over the whole system, and so
Right.
it's